Welcome to the Produce Moms Podcast, where we believe there is a produce mom in all of us. I'm Hilary Taylor, founder and CEO of the Produce Moms. For 10 years, I sold fresh produce to over 300 grocery stores in the U.S. And today, my team and I are fully focused on inspiring people to eat more fruits and vegetables. This show is just one of the ways that we hope to inspire you and your family to eat more produce and live a better life. If you like what you're hearing on the podcast, join our community of almost 40,000 in all 50 states and over 30 countries by visiting theproducemoms.com/subscribe. And be sure to subscribe and leave us a review on iTunes. Thanks for being here. Enjoy today's show. Welcome back, everyone. Today on the Produce Moms Podcast, it's a great day. We are welcoming back Sarah Frey. Sarah is the CEO of Frey Farms. She's the founder of Sarah's Homegrown. She was previously on our podcast promoting her amazing show-stopping new book. She is the author of The Growing Season. If you haven't picked up your copy yet, please, what are you waiting for? Get your copy of The Growing Season. You can also download the audiobook if that's more your style. And we are joined by Sarah's niece. We've got Hilary Long with us. Hilary is, she's part of the family. She's Sarah's niece, so she kind of does it all, right? Family-owned business. But she definitely is the VP of Sales and Marketing for Sarah's Homegrown. She's also heavily involved with the marketing of Frey Farms and really all that they do through this amazing family farm and these amazing brands that they have developed through Frey Farms. Today, we are going to talk about beverage innovation. And in all of the since 2018, when we've been doing this weekly broadcast, we have not had a show that has focused on the beverage category within the produce department. So this is long overdue. And what an honor to bring two women who have been absolute innovators for this category. And I know all of us tuning in today, anyone who has shopped in a produce department, you have seen a seismic shift in how that beverage section in your grocery store in the produce department continues to grow, expand, and innovate. And that is what we're talking about today. So I'd like to first welcome Hilary to the show for brief introductions, and then we'll invite Sarah. So Hilary, say hello to all of our listeners and guests, and tell us a little bit more about what you do.
Thank you, Lori. Excited to be here today. So hello, everyone. Hilary Long. I manage our sales and marketing of the beverage division. As Lori said, we have been involved in the beverage business since late 2013 when Sarah, my aunt, had an idea to make watermelon juice out of our watermelons. So it's been a really exciting, 7-8 years. We've learned a lot. We've grown a lot, and we're now not only in retail grocery, but also in about 18,000 restaurants across the country. So it's an exciting time, and we look forward to even more next year.
And Sarah, we are so thrilled that you are joining us again. I can only imagine what the last few weeks of your life have been like, getting the book launched, and just so proud of your success, what you've accomplished with The Growing Season, and really most importantly, what you've accomplished with another successful pumpkin season. But truthfully, welcome back to the Produce Moms Podcast. And we're really excited to educate everyone on the beverage innovation that you have spearheaded for your brand and really for our industry.
Thank you, Lori, and thank you all that you've done in your support of Frey Farms. The Produce Moms podcast has been, really an incredible platform. I'm so happy that Hilary's here with us today because truly she really is the one that drives our beverage business and, just keeps the wheels turning on the bus. And I'm so excited for our farm and our family and the new innovations that have happened within our company since we started making fresh beverages, well over 7 years ago on the farm. And, it's really fantastic to see really the fruits of your labor showing up on retail shelves and in restaurants across the country. We're really excited about the Sarah's Homegrown brand, what that brand stands for, and how ultimately it just transports us back to a time when, food was simple, clean, and delicious. And we make so many of our products right on the farm where the products are actually grown. And for those of your listeners that don't know, we actually incorporate what we call in the industry the ugly fruit. And we incorporate that fruit that might be visually imperfect, but that tastes incredible. And we use more of what we grow. So not only is it the right thing to do, Lori, for the planet, it's the right thing to do for the customer and the consumer and, the farm, really.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's what we're all out here, trying to do, is support each other and ultimately do the right thing every day. And every day that we work in our brands, that's the feeling that we have.
I love that. Yeah, it's absolutely a sustainable operation, like what you've established with the Sarah's Homegrown beverage line, as well as the Tsamma juice, watermelon juice line. It's not only great for consumers and Mother Nature and planet Earth, it's great for the farming economy to make sure that there is a useful purpose for all that is grown that does not meet retail spec. And with that, Hilary, I'd love to bring you on to share a little bit more about the journey. I mean, because gosh, I remember the first time I met you, Hilary, it was probably 2013 or 14, and you were boots on the ground helping your family farm launch the Tsamma juice line. And what a journey it has been from that first launch of Tsamma juice with the Tsamma llama and the jingle and the different, and those three, the three flavors that you launched with, to where you're at today. I mean,
right.
You've had logo redesigns, you've discontinued flavors, you've added and enhanced flavors, you've rebranded, you've rebottled. So just kind of tell us a little more about the journey, please.
Yeah, thank you, Lori. It's funny when I text you earlier, just because we have been really on quite a few Zooms, all of us this year. It's a little bit of Zoom fatigue, but it's been great to be able to still connect with everyone. And when I text you asking about, should I put makeup on and worry about that? Because if so, I'm going to put on my llama shirt, because I knew you were going to go there and talk about that, because you have been so supportive of us since day one. And it really has been an awesome journey, even when things were discontinued, or we did learn along the way what flavors would work, what packaging worked. But ultimately, we started as produce growers in the produce department, and it wasn't easy. The barrier of entry for us was not what we had to learn from. We got into a lot of big retailers really early on. But what I feel really happened with the category is it exploded. And so you have big beverage guys like Coke, Pepsi, Keurig Dr. Pepper, but then you have those of us out there really doing some unique, functional, healthy, better for you products. And so the sets went from 4 feet to 8 feet to 10 feet in the produce section. I mean, they're cutting salad dressings and other items to put more juices in. So what we really had to learn was, it became a pay to play game, and the marketing that you had to really start to just invest in is substantial. And so we did pump the brakes for a little while on just wanting to make sure that those retailers that we were in were successful. And one of our most successful partners has been Publix, and they've been a huge supporter of our business. They've helped us innovate. They've given us the feedback, and that's really what has helped us become successful.
And the time, right? Yeah. Like there's a lot of people, it's launching a product, especially the way that Frey Farms has. I want to talk a little bit more about how you've almost been ahead of the trends. I don't know how you all know what's going to be the next hot thing, but you're on it about a year before everyone else. So,
we do have a leg up on that, Lori, being in the produce industry and involved the way you and I are, and Sarah is in the marketing council. Even, we hear what produce trends, what's happening with fresh, and the fresh trends do resonate over into beverage. But we do spend time with quite a few different groups on research and functional. I have a deck that just came across my desk a couple weeks ago that I don't even think I've shared with Sarah yet, because it's just a monster, where we looked into all of the different upcoming trends with functional ingredients. And we literally studied 2,000 respondents and interviewers between the ages of 18 to 64. There were 30 different functional ingredients. So, we are doing work behind the scenes. It's definitely not just a shoot from the hip. With the watermelon juice, that didn't really need the research at the time. We're, one of the nation's largest watermelon growers. We're going to put it in a bottle. It's healthy. It's delicious. It's low in even natural sugars. But now that we're getting into some of these more functional categories, we are taking the time to do more research.
Mm-hmm. And when you say functional, he'll elaborate on that. What do you mean, like turmeric? And what is considered a functional ingredient in the beverage space?
Honestly, just something that it's honestly pretty complex.
Yeah.
Even from this last round of research that we got back on what's truly considered functional, the category is just changing and evolving, but it's just what makes you feel better, what's actually good for you, whether it's immunity, hydration, energy, gut health, cognitive thinking. I mean, the levels of this are, it's really complex. So for us, what we still will focus on are keeping our flavors and our functional ingredients approachable. So whether it's Walmart, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, Aldi, any customer that we currently sell beverages to, we hope that that customer can walk up and grab that bottle and it tastes delicious, and they know they're getting a little bit of a vitamin pack. So we're currently working on our own custom vitamin pack that will be, for the most part, flavorless.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that with COVID, honestly, is critical. That's the number one functional ingredient and benefit is it's first immunity and second hydration. So we're in a good position with the hydration piece as well with Tsamma.
For sure. And truly, I mean, everyone in the produce industry, every consumer or grocery shopper who spends the most amount of their budget in the produce department, you're already participating, because that's what fruits and vegetables are. We are the most functional foods. So it's great that the beverage innovation that truly has been spearheaded within the produce department by Sarah, Hilary, and everyone at Frey Farms through the Sarah's Homegrown line and Tsamma Juice. I mean, these were the first people in produce to really go all in with beverage. So I'm right there with you. And I just want to emphasize to folks, the produce department, that's your functional foods, people. So, but yeah, I love the trend. I love how things are coming up where it's like cognitive health, immunity boost, et cetera. And whenever you can share that deck with me, Hilary, I'd love to see it too. So now, Sarah,
I will.
Thank you. And Sarah, I've got to ask you a little bit about the trend spotting and how you know what space to get into next, because what I felt like when you launched Tsamma Juice, it was within 1 to 2 years, we had, competitor brands. We were starting to see watermelon really being considered as more of a superfood. Your company had forged partnerships with some of the most iconic sports teams as their official supplier of citrulline supplements, which it was simply the Tsamma Juice. And now what you've done with Agua Frescas through the Sarah's Homegrown line, I'm seeing Agua Frescas everywhere, from the restaurants I dine at to gas stations to the produce department. And that's really largely in part thanks to you. So how do you, is it just the Sarah Frey magic ball, or like what, how do you know where to go with this innovation? How are you always on the right side of these trends? You're setting the trends.
Lori, Hilary raised a really good point, and that is watching what happens inside the fresh produce industry. And because we're so closely connected, whether it be through the food that we're growing and providing our retail partners, or just simply being farmer geeks. I mean, we have a pretty good idea instinctively what trends are. And, really the Agua Frescas, I started noticing, more Agua Frescas kind of starting to pop up in at smaller restaurant venues across the country. And I was taken back to really when I was a little girl and how we used to make fresh Agua Frescas on the farm. And we would harvest fresh blackberries, wild blackberries when we were kids, and, try not to get sugars in the process, but we'd bring the berries back. And ultimately by the time we got done doing whatever it was that we were going to do with the blackberries, whether we were putting them up to freeze or cooking them down, making jams and jellies and things, so we would take some of the leftover fruit and we would muddle it and add pure cane sugar to it and pour water into a pitcher and stir it up, and we drink it. And it was like the best beverage ever, So for me as a little girl, now little did I know when I was like 5 or 6 years old, I had no idea that was called an Agua Fresca, but basically that's what we were making. But I had this really awesome childhood memory of life on the farm. And I I just felt like I wanted to share that with the world. I'm like, this is what beverage is supposed to taste like. And then that really was the inspiration for creating the Sarah's Homegrown line of Agua Frescas. And you're right. You're seeing it more and more. I mean, we initially took the Agua Fresca concept to Chipotle and in food service, and did. I spent 2 years of my life working on, the whole team did really working on that concept. And then so now you're seeing it really on a more national scale. And Hilary mentioned we're in 18,000 restaurants across the country now, and we only see that that trend growing. And
it's
really a hybrid of the Agua Fresca is kind of what we're focused on now.
Yeah, good. I can't wait to see what's next. I know it's going to be another one of my favorites. And Hilary gave a call out to Publix, and I will say it's like the first thing that I do when I go to Florida is go to Publix, and I buy like every bottle of Tsamma juice and Sarah's Homegrown Agua Fresca that's
awesome.
on the shelf. I'm addicted to it, and I continually request it in my hometown. And I encourage all of our listeners today, if these beverages are not on your grocery store shelf, you're really missing out. I'm currently missing out in my hometown, and I'm not shy about it. We have a blog on our website. It's titled "How to Request Items at the Grocery Store." It's one of our top trending blogs month after month. Check it out. We've done all the research for you. We've got like the 75 top grocers in the United States. We've linked their contact request forms. We've linked their social media handles. We've even put like the old school things like their mailing address and their phone numbers, and how you can actually, as the shopper, request a product at your grocery store. And I encourage you to join me in requesting Tsamma juice and Sarah's Homegrown Agua Frescas and beverage line at your local grocer, because you will not be disappointed. It is truly like one of my absolute favorite things to drink. And it doesn't matter if I'm, recovering from a hard Peloton workout and I need that performance hydration that the Tsamma juice is so, known for, or if I'm celebrating with girlfriends and we want a fun, unique cocktail, and I use the Agua Fresca line to create like the most amazing, delicious cocktails or mocktails that you ever could. So you're going to love this line. Hilary, I want to ask you about sustainability. Obviously, we talked about it briefly when we talked, Sarah shared some remarks on using the products that aren't really suitable for retail channel sales. And sustainability it's paramount for our industry right now. I mean, we're having full-on conferences about it. We talk about it almost in every single podcast episode now. How is sustainability at the forefront of what you're doing and promoting and innovating at Sarah's Homegrown?
Thanks, Lori. Our beverage line is sustainability. It started with that thought, clean products from the earth, from the things that we grow, or now, as we've expanded, partner growers across the U.S. And, I don't know that we've really shared how it started, but we're one of the nation's largest watermelon growers. Sarah was sitting in Savannah, Georgia for the National Watermelon Board meeting, had this idea, called John, called me, and we were off to the races. We are now able to utilize, probably, I don't know what the percentage currently is today, but a decent amount of our crop that would have otherwise still been used for, composting organic matter. But now we're able to make really healthy, delicious products. And Sarah kind of touched on that. But one of the things I'd really like to share that we did last year, which was such a fun thing to do, is, and I think some of your listeners are familiar with Stemelt. And, one of the nation's largest apple growers, and specifically the Honeycrisp variety, we've worked with others, but we worked with them specific for a program for Subway restaurants where we did a Honeycrisp beverage, and utilizing also not Frey products that we grow, but fellow grower partners. And we hope to do more of that. We're always really conscious of where we're sourcing products, even for one of our new immunity lines that we're working on in our innovation pipeline. We're sourcing an acerola that's all natural. We're only sourcing things where we control kind of what, just the overall picture for the environment, for the for the earth. And you know, one thing too, I want to touch on, because I know this could be a question that comes up. Anytime you Google sustainability in the beverage industry, you always get single-use plastics. And it's tough because there are some people out there that are using glass and they think it's the way to go. But we stay on top of those trends as well, Lori. It's not just the obvious that we're farmers who are in the beverage business, but we do really keep a close eye on what bottles we're using, the lightest PET possible, and making sure that all of our regional programs, we're eliminating the distance with our distributor partners. We have so many of them across the U.S. to do exactly that as well. That's helping with fossil fuels for shipping. So we really have our hand in all of it when it comes to sustainability, and it's a big part of what we do. And the Frey Farms family of our core business, we've been doing those things for a long time prior to the beverage business. We have a whole team that's in place on all of that on our various farms throughout the Southeast and Midwest. So.
And one thing too, and I've said this time and time again, as we've brought other incredible leaders from agriculture onto this show, is from a sustainability perspective, the earth is the farmer's quote unquote factory floor. The earth, like, you got to take care of it, because the earth is what keeps our industry going and growing. And I do want to call out that a huge point of differentiation, folks, in the beverage lines that we're discussing today, the Tsamma juice and the Sarah's Homegrown, these are farmer-owned brands. These are farmer-owned brands. That means that the farmer themselves are the ones creating this beverage line. So absolutely, sustainability is at the helm of the strategy here.
Right, Laura. That's like we are sustainability.
Yeah,
it really
absolutely. Well, I mean, this has been a great episode, truly scratching the surface on what the journey looks like. I mean, I've really enjoyed both of your remarks and your reflection on how you bring a new category to your family farm, how you maintain the integrity of a family farming operation in the beverage industry. How does that live? You've done it. And you're really the first and only brand that has. And so it's a true honor and joy to have the opportunity to share this story with our community at the Produce Moms. And I want everyone to make sure that you look for these products by brand name, Sarah's Homegrown and Tsamma Juice. I love them. One little quick tip, I know I'm called out the cocktails, but another thing I love to do with the Tsamma Juice in particular, I love to add some chia seeds to it, let it sit for a minute and, shake it up. And then, just adds a little bit more boost to what's already a super nutrient dense beverage. But that's another tip from me on how I use these products in my daily life. And Hilary and Sarah, I'd welcome you now to share any closing thoughts or remarks that you have with our audience. And of course, thank you again for being part of this show and for all the great work you do.
Lori, thank you so much for having Hilary and I on today so that we could share more about our farm, our family, and, the great brands that we have at Frey Farms. The work that you do in the fresh produce industry is so important, and we just really appreciate you taking the time to highlight our farm. And I got to tell you, I'm just so appreciative of the work that you've also done and getting the word out there about the book, The Growing Season. And we're really excited about the book and also the new television series with ABC. And you have just really been a champion for our farm and our family. And, we love you and the work that you do, and keep it up. And hopefully we'll keep cranking out these new and awesome brands.
Lori, thank you again. We truly can't express enough how grateful we are for your support, your friendship over the years. And I know that many people in the produce industry can say the same thing. And you're growing beyond that. And it's just so exciting to also watch what you are doing. But thank you for everyone that listened in today. And from our family to all of yours, we're really excited to bring these products to the market, whether it's in your local retail grocery chain or mom and pop grocery stores or restaurants. We plan to really grow this business, and just thank you all again. If anyone wants to connect with me personally, if you do listen to Lori's tip on talking to your produce manager, please feel free to reach out. Hilary Long at freyfarms.com, and I'm here to answer any questions offline as well. So thank you again, Lori.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Produce Moms podcast. If you or someone you know would like to be a featured guest, just send an email to lori@theproducemoms.com. We know there is a produce mom in you because there's a produce mom in all of us. Join our community on Facebook and all social platforms. Help us change the way America eats. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.